Hey everyone, it's Tradism Group again, and we're just gonna make another quick episode on basically, I guess like with this video, I'm actually going to use breakouts as one of the categories for this video, and what is the best route of taking a breakout trade, and what it means to take that kind of trade, and what's the risk to reward, and how to determine the direction of this specific market. Of course, today was also a downtrending day of some sort with a um, end of day small consolidation to the upside. Kind of indicates that there's like a bear trend basically forming, and from my analysis of the previous video on how I said that this would actually pump overnight, and then we would get some sort of big sell-off. It did happen today, so luckily, it wasn't really something that wasn't expected. Um, but yes, so for today, basically, what I always do is that I draw the overnight high and then the overnight low from the previous market, from this overnight session, and I would use that as a reference point for later in today's market. So that's the high of the market of pre-market, and this is the low of the pre-market. And basically, as you can see right here, it plays as a perfect resistance in some manner. Basically, and this one acting as a support just right there. So I drew out this support just because we had a nice sell-off, and that's a reference point as well for later today. So, anyways, for the start of the day from 9:30, we opened up and basically we pushed to the highs. This was right here a liquidity zone, the 2760s, 0.25s, and this is actually the highest value at the time of the trade. And there's no past history or anything like that. This is actually the highest value of the trade at that time. And basically now, we're gonna actually draw a pivot point at this price. And the reason why like I decided that 2760s would be a perfect area for short is because we had Powell news coming around 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., which indicates that in times of like when Powell is talking or like any of the FOMC members are testifying, we usually get some sort of reversal or a really strong pump or a very strong sell-off. In this case, in this scenario for today, we actually ended up taking a more downtrend approach based on whatever Powell had to say. I didn't really watch it, so I don't really have a comment on exactly what's going on with that. But I did know that we were going to we were going to break the overnight high, retest, probably like 15 points higher, and then most likely sell off due to the overnight pump. Because of this overnight pump as well, you can definitely see that it looked very strong. But this is right here, just basically liquidity being absorbed really quickly as it goes higher. So basically, the short sellers are shorting around this range here, and the reason why the price is going really quick to the upside is because buyers are also buying along this side right here, and basically the short sellers are just like shorting at market price, and that's why the prices were swinging these big moves, and then basically nice big candles on the sell-offs. Is because short sellers were in control of the market at the time. So, and usually when that happens in pre-market, it's pretty more often than not. We'll actually see a sell-off on the day, especially when you see something like this specifically. This type of trend is fairly um, I would say like probably happens like out of the year, probably like 10, 15 times where we get like an overnight push like this specifically before we start selling off into the start of the day. And basically, this right here, uh, as I said, from 9:30 we pushed to the highs, broke the 760s level. We used that as a liquidity grab for the short sellers, which is why the strength of the sellers was really strong, because the short sellers are basically pouring in at the high of this price. We did try to break this trend line right here, the structure of this trend line right there, and basically, we retested it once, a couple times here, pushed to the highs, and then just try to come back down. And we were trying to push higher again. The buyers were basically trying to push it much higher. But realistically, I think the short sellers were actually just market market shorting here, and that's why like the swings were really quick and moving to the upside very quickly, especially after it just dumps right below this trend line. So this was an indicator, right? We cracked the trend line basically. We absorbed all the short seller, all the buyers here. So originally the buyers were looking to push it much higher. So there was buyers in this price range as well, on top of the short sellers basically buying at market price. Short sellers are people that want the movement of the stock to basically fall, and they would profit from, let's say for example, if I wanted to short at this price at 20,760s, I would get in right here on the short side. So basically I want to profit on the downside. When it gets lower and lower and lower, basically I'll get out of my short position, and then basically this entire difference is the profit that I made. So over here, we can tell that there was definitely buyers in this level as well, just around this range from 9:30 until 10:21 a.m. And then, as you can see, we try to retest that level. Short sellers were winning, of course. Lots of red, lots of strong selling. We broke below this breakout right here. This is the breakout of the trend line. And then just right here, this was actually a support from the buyers originally. And then all the buyers that had their long position at this price around here basically got stopped out. And then this is where the short sellers used that liquidity to push it back up to the upside direction really quickly. This could have easily squeezed as well, where the buyers would actually start buying really quickly, and then the price would start pushing above the 765s, and then this could have easily been also a short squeeze to the upside. But as you can see, we actually held this price around the 2760s, and then short sellers just overpowered the buyers at that time, and that's how the price started dropping really quickly. And then basically with the support of overnight, this was the support of overnight around the 2704s, and we use that as the next reference level. So basically, the short sellers won. They broke the trend line one more time. They broke right below it, and basically they were gonna break the low of this level as well, of course, because all the buyers that were here got stopped out, and they're not confident to buy it again here at this price, especially after Powell was also talking. We pushed the market below that support. It came back up really quickly, and then basically, this would have been a good long entry around here for like a quick scalp. So if scalp means that you're getting in and out of the trade really quickly, usually less than a minute. So this was a good 1 minute trade right here from 2704s to 2020. So that's about 16 points. And then you would have sold it right at that touch here. And then afterwards, now you actually can also see that buyers were interested at this price because the green bar was engulfing the other level. So buyers were in this price here. We pushed above it. Short sellers were pushing it back below. And then basically they stopped all the long traders again at this price. They stopped them out. And then this is where short sellers took the liquidity to their advantage one more time and basically pushed the market higher. They basically were market shorting their position to the upside. And also, on top of market shorting, they were shorting into the buyers right here, basically, which is why the buyer, you can see there was a lot more red in between these candles. It wasn't very consistent in terms of buying. And then you had the algorithmic downtrend right here. This is an algorithm just right there. This is an algorithm actually playing into this trend. And this is where they were liquidating most of the long traders. So all the longs were trying to get into the trade, but the algorithms were trading really quickly and basically chopping the buyers in and out. As you can see, there's a lot of chop right here. There's a lot of chop right there. This is an algorithm. So basically, it's like a robot. It's a higher frequency trade. There's a robot trading that specific price action right here. This also indicates that it's a downtrend. As stated in my previous video. My previous video was how to determine a bear trend day. And this was exactly what that was indicating. This was implying that this was a bear trend in some manner. So as you can see, I'm going to get rid of some of these lines here so we have a better reference point. As you can see, we were downtrending. This was actually in one of my videos, how to anticipate a bear trend, and this is exactly the algorithm that I was talking about before. We can also use this as a structure for a breakout. So if you actually just hit the highs here and just put a trend line all the way down, basically on the break of the structure, this also could have been a good opportunity for buyers to get in. So right over here was indicating that there was a short trend. We were kind of pushing it below, lower and lower and lower. And then afterwards, it kind of based out. So it means that there was a foundation. As you can see, there was buyers around this price here. And then basically, this was an opportunity to kind of get long. You know, the risk to reward. The reward wasn't that great, in my opinion, from 84s to 704s, which is about 20 points. That was the risk to reward that you were going for right here. But this was still an opportunity, basically, for long traders to get a little bit of piece, like a piece of the money, in a way. But yeah, this is definitely downtrending. So this right here is an algorithm, and basically, we were trading into that algorithm range, and this is where like the short sellers were just kind of like beating it down around this price. I was anticipating like 720s. You know, 715s is pretty good anyways. But you know, I already knew for a fact that like there was like some sort of like accumulation here for the short side. So this right here was semi bull trend, semi short trend. This is like a scalp range, and you basically would have been able to take short here, get out, short here, get out, get long. You know, just in and out basically with this trade constantly. You could have also drawn a trend line after that previous low right here, that break of the structure. But when it came back up, you could have just done this, and you would have been able to buy that bounce, come back down here, buy that bounce temporarily, put a stop loss underneath, and then just like take a scalp. But this right here is not really my favorite trade. This specifically, around the 2689.75 would be one of the type of trades that I would take. I would probably buy long right there and set up a stop loss just right below that because of the breakout of a long time frame trend. So from 10:12 a.m. to 11:43 a.m., that's about an hour and 30 minutes. We actually broke out. I would have taken the trade right here and then probably scalped it just along the resistance at this value right here. It's a little bit of a resistance. You can see that there's sellers at this point. So after we retested that range again, this downward bear trend, basically we retested the consolidation, and then as you can see, it broke below, retested that, and just kept on selling off and off and off, and then continued to this point, and then basically bought back up, tested the resistance one more time in the consolidation just right here, this little downtrend consolidation right there. This one's a little bit weaker, so over here we retested that, sold off really hard, and then around 20,640 is just at this level. This was the end of day around 1:30 to 4 p.m. This trend wasn't specifically like really strong downtrend. This was, in my opinion, a weak downtrend, a weak downtrending kind of day. This is not very strong because there was buyers in between all of this range. So my anticipation was that even though we were gonna like sell off maybe another 40 points, right, 40 or 50 points just right here, 40 to 60 points, I knew that buyers were still interested in some manner of this entire trend. So I kind of just basically went off of intuition, saying that around 20,640s we were going to get a reversal to the upside, pushing back up into the 680s range here, and that was basically my anticipation for the day. But yeah, I do take a lot of the breakout trades more often. So this was a breakout trade right there. This is how to trade the breakout. You just kind of let the trend play out, and then you just draw a overhead line, and then you just buy the breakout, set a stop loss below, and then basically just take short profits. You don't want to be too greedy in this market. And then same idea over here. Could have easily drawn a full-on trend line for this price all the way down. Look for opportunities right here to go long. Take a scalp there. As you can see, there was a resistance, and it was pretty familiar, right? So if you actually just look at this price and then look at this price, as you can see, this kind of chopping sideways like this specifically right here. After the breakout happened over here as well, it kind of did the same exact thing. So, markets have the tendency to repeat themselves more than once, usually every day. So usually it could happen twice. It could happen 3 times, whatever the case is. After a breakout, as you can see, there was definitely mild chop and more sideways action for the remainder of the day, especially on NASDAQ. So, but yeah, on this specific day, I made about $2.3 thousand US dollars, and basically that's how I traded the market over 4 accounts. Right now, like, I'm just waiting for my payout. I'm above the threshold by 5,151. I'm still waiting for my payout. Ridiculous enough, but it is what it is. They said that they would pay out around the 15th to the 20th. By that time, I'm going to be requesting for my second payout. So it's not like I'm going to be losing any value by the end of this month. But yeah, if y'all like my video, basically feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And yeah, join my free Discord, completely free. I don't charge anybody for it, and I basically always drop my analysis in the Discord of what I think at the time of the trade and how I feel about the market. It's not going to be always 100% accurate, and also there's a disclaimer just in the comments as well. This is not financial advice at the end of the day, so. But yeah, use my link Apex Trader Funding just in the comments below. If you want to like sign up for the evaluation course, it's 80% off at the moment. Um, and if you want to actually just like learn a little bit of the tips and tricks basically on how I trade this kind of market, just join the Discord. Yeah. Anyways, thanks so much, everyone. Enjoy your day.